with another tutorial-esque sort of video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to painlessly groom your eyebrows. I don't do these tutorial sort of videos enough. They are the best for you obviously because they're more educational and you can learn more things, so I do want to definitely get in the habit of doing them more often, just so we can get it out of the way. It's like anything else where everyone's like, that's not how you do it, or that is how you do it. Everyone has their own way, and I mean, if it's another way you guys could consider to do your eyebrows to, you know, maybe save you a lot more pain, then I definitely wanted to put this out there. This is how I do it. It's how I've been doing it for the past about year or two, and my eyebrows are perfectly fine. I have very, very healthy hair on my eyebrows as well. It's quite nice and thick, but it's not too coarse. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing the way I do it with you today, and obviously as you can see, I have no makeup on whatsoever because for plucking or threading or however you groom your eyebrows, it's best to not have any makeup on, obviously around your eyebrow sort of area, so I just decided to not put anything on. Also, excuse the hair, I'm gonna have to fix it in a minute, but I just wanted it up and out of the way, and I really just don't really mind today, so that's quite good. Okay, so out of the ways we can do our eyebrows, everyone has said about, I've heard plucking, threading, I heard some people just sort of dye the hairs, which is kind of a cool idea, I suppose. Like sort of blonding out the eyebrow hairs that they don't want. I've heard many different ways, and I've heard about this one before, but I've not actually seen anyone do it, and this is the way I learned when I went to cosmetology school. So you guys, if you do not like this way, just don't do it, that's fine. I've heard things about people say about this way, your hairs grow back really thick and it's really coarse and it's hard to get out. Absolutely not. Compared to plucking and threading, the way I'm about to tell you about is totally painless to me. You may get the odd little like, oh, that's a little bit bad, but not anywhere near the amount of threading or plucking. Yes, I have had plucking done before, and yes, I have tried a bit of threading. I've not had my eyebrows fully threaded because I had that little bit done just to have a tester, and I was like, nope, that's not happening. So I bet you're real curious about the way I do it. Now, I have two tools that you're gonna need, and they're both super inexpensive. You can get them online. If I can find a link down below, I will leave them. It is basically just a little razor blade. Now this may look kind of creepy to some people, but you can get, like, I got this in like a pack of 3 when I was living in Malaysia, and it was super cheap. I've seen them on eBay as well. They are mega cheap, and this one, they usually come in more packs because the blade can get quite blunt, but I've had this one for a while and it's been absolutely fine. What you do with this is obviously just shape your eyebrows as you would with plucking, but it becomes a lot easier because you can use the line as a sort of guide. Once again, I bet people get kind of scared when they see this and think, oh my gosh, no Amy, but you wait and see when I do the tutorial. It's not scary at all, and because it is like a razor, it is pulling the hairs, but it's slowly and gently pulling them and cutting them off as well, but it's not cutting them on the surface so you see little black dots. It really is removing them, so that's what I really like about that. And the second tool is kind of optional depending on your eyebrow sort of growth rate and things like that, but I just have a pair of eyelash scissors here. Well, they're nail scissors, I think, but any sort of form of scissors. You preferably want ones that aren't blunt or want sort of sharper ones, and they're for actually shortening your hairs. Also, they're the two tools you will need. One, you will need a eyebrow brush, which is a spoolie like this, and I'm sorry, but mine is gone, so I'm using this eyebrow pencil that I really don't like. I bought this like a while ago. It's called Master Shape by Maybelline, and it's not very good at all. Don't buy the pencil, but the brush is good. And then the other one I'm going to be using is this, which is, I believe, supposed to be an eyelash brush. I'm not too sure what the official name of it is. You are just going to need this side, which is the comb. So yeah, just a little comb would also be good if you just had that. Like I said, don't just follow this to a T because everyone has different eyebrows. As I was saying, my eyebrows are quite healthy. They grow quite rapidly. I have long hairs on there. This is my natural color eyebrows. I don't like dye them at all. So without further ado, let me fix my hair and let's come a little closer and get into the tutorial. Okay, so we're super close right now, and I put my camera on manual focus, so hopefully everything is okay. But okay, let's start off with just how you can see. I let my eyebrows grow out a bit more than I would usually, just for the sake of this video, so we can see it before and after. So I will be doing one eyebrow first and then I'll be doing the other one afterwards so you guys can see a comparison. So to start off with, these are just my naked eyebrows. Isn't that cool? Isn't that just so attractive? Now the first thing that is optional, I don't do it anymore but I used to, is where you take a warm, wet towel or cloth and you just leave it on there for about 3 or 4 seconds just to open up your pores. It just makes things a little bit less painless. Because it opens up your pores and it makes it easier to have the hairs come out. I don't do that anymore just because I've got more used to it and there's no need for me to. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush out, so I'm going to use my little eyebrow spoolie here and I'm just going to brush my eyebrows into my ideal shape. I'm going to just say there. That's what I do. Ignore this eyebrow, by the way. It's all about this brow today. So that's what I'm going to call it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little blade here. As you can see, it's got little ridges on it. That's what helps to grab the hairs. So I'm just going to sort of gently lift this, not like that. Just gently lift it to support the skin. And then have the blade sort of facing down at a little bit of an angle. Make sure it goes this way. You don't want to go this way. It's got to go with the growth of the hair. So what you're going to do now is I'm going to just get rid of these little like ones that are growing on the outside. So at the bottom, you're just going to go this way with a flatter, not like that, flat. So I don't feel absolutely anything when I'm doing this. There is not one bit of pain at all. I might go a little bit underneath my arch to reshape them a little bit. That looks so much sharper already. Can you see that? So much sharper already. And as you can see, it's totally clean underneath my eyebrow. There is no little black stubbies of the hair. It really is all clean, and I might even work into there a little bit. Now what you got to do is be careful with this because you can overwork it and you can obviously go a little bit thinner than you want it. That's why it's really important to brush out your brows to the shape you want them first. Don't just go out and just do anything because it can go wrong in the end. So that's quite the easy bit, just getting rid of the little stray hairs there. And then when we go on top, you do get some stray hairs sort of after here and sort of above. So now what you're going to do is, instead of doing the same thing and going that way, we're going to go down. So we're just going to sort of pull that way. Okay, as you can see, there's no redness, there's nothing, I'm not in any form of pain at all, and it's really clean too, is what I like about the results of the razor as opposed to the threading and stuff, because with threading it does make your eyes very red afterward, just because of the pain at the moment. It does go away, but this is such an advantage because you get a tiny little bit of redness, but hardly noticeable. I've sort of worked on my tail and I'm quite happy with that. Worked on my tail, that sounds so funny. I've worked down here and I'm happy with that now. There's no more stray hairs I'm too worried about. Now we go up to the inner part of the brow. Now, some people, you know, suffer with a little bit of a unibrow in here, and if you do, you literally just sort of, like I said, follow the growth of hair down, 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 or up, up, depending on, you know, whatever the growth is of your hair. Lucky enough I didn't suffer with that too much, so I don't really need to do any work in between here because I have quite strict brows in that sense. So that was all I would do for shaving. That is it, you know. You could even leave it there if you want long brows, but for me, my brows grow out so much that if I do this, you know, they look messy. So I need to shorten my hairs. So I'm going to take my scissors now, and I'm also going to take this little comb here. Now, this is something really new as well, and don't be afraid to do it because it is very, very, very simple. From this point, you want to separate your eyebrow and just think of it as two bits. So you're going to separate it and think of it as this bit and your tail. So if we start at the front, so the first part, you're going to take your brush and brush up the hairs. Brush them all the way up. As you can see, my hairs are so overgrown. I've not literally done them for ages because I wanted to make this video and make it very obvious. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors. And bear in mind, I'm right-handed, so always have your important tool in your right hand. And I have my brush in my left. And I'm gonna just brush this up like this. Take your scissors and slide it along like that. Up again, because they won't all stay up. And brush and just cut. Keep going. And you can even do it as a hairdresser and sort of leave it there as well. This bit you don't have to worry about too much. As long as you stay on that line that your eyebrow naturally creates, you should be fine. Because if you cut a hair too short, obviously you're not going to see that. So don't worry about it too much. Another really important point I must mention to you guys is never, ever, ever, ever cut your highest point. I cut to about there. So I've got, as you can see, my highest point leaves out, and then I'll cut to about there. Never touch your highest point. That is what can mess up eyebrows so much. Okay, so I'm happy with that part now. I'm pretty fine with that. So now we're going to go to the tail bit. Now for the tail bit, you are going to just do the opposite of what you did and just brush the hairs down this time. So as you can see, they are growing out quite a bit too. And we're just going to do the same technique, but the other way around. My scissors got a little bit of a bend in them, as you can see, which is quite good because that helps it lay on the skin without actually hurting the skin. Okay, now with the tail hairs, you want to be a little bit less strict. You want to be a little bit more lenient with them, because if you cut them too short, it can make your tail look quite thin, and you sort of want that to look thick. So after you've done all of that, just take back your eyebrow spoolie again and just brush them out to see your final results. Okay, so I've brushed the eyebrows out to my ideal shape now, and what you can do is you can basically, if you see anything you don't like, just go back in and correct it. Now with me, there's only one thing bothering me, and that's a little bit of the hair there. And that's about it, I think. So if you look now, you can see the complete difference in eyebrows. Even if I brush this one out, you know, you can see how this is so much sharper compared to this one. And I have felt literally no pain whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to just do this eyebrow, and I'm going to let you guys watch, but I'm going to do it in fast motion so you can sort of just recap. So here we go.
Hey now, call you split, cause you know that you will.
Rightio guys, so that was it for my tutorial. As you can see, these eyebrows, by the way, I haven't got any makeup on whatsoever, so this is just how my eyebrows would look. I'm just so happy with the results. There's just so many advantages to doing this for yourself. Now obviously if you're, you know, maybe a bit too young to do this, then be careful, because accidents can happen. And like I said, I have been to school to learn about it and actually learn how to properly do it, but I thought I would share a tutorial if, you know, maybe you are studying makeup or you have been a beautician or something, and maybe it's a new trade you would like to add on to, perhaps, you know, threading or plucking, because I just think it's the way forward. Why put yourself through that much pain for the same results? And obviously we all do eyebrows differently. Somebody could really, you know, go up into their arch and get rid of a whole bunch of hair. I quite like my eyebrows quite natural. I'm not too fussed with my eyebrows. When I fill them in, I sort of do any correcting I need to and reshaping then. But just to keep them well groomed and presentable, I think this is a great way. And I mean, one, it's totally inexpensive. All you're paying for is some eyebrow blades, which you can get on eBay, and I will leave a link down below just for your convenience. And and also you're just getting some little scissors, which I'll also leave down below. I think I got these at like the pound store or something like that, you know. It's totally inexpensive, and I know some people can pay a lot to go get eyebrow threading or plucking, or you know, plucking can take time because you've got to be there on every single hair and do that, and it's quite painful, every single hair. So I definitely think the little shaver way is the way forward, and like I said, if you have a problem with this, that is fine, that's just your choice. I do this and I've done it long enough now to share it with you confidently and say there's no problem with it. Everybody's different, remember, but there is no harm whatsoever in doing this. And as for the duration, obviously, once again, different for everybody, but for me, I will do this probably once every 3 to 4 weeks. Truly, I don't wait till it grows out that much. That I did for you guys, but usually if I'm just sitting here and I see a couple of stray hairs, I'll just go ahead and do that, or if I feel my eyebrows are getting a bit long, I'll do that. But sometimes I have that full-fledged routine, what I just did, and just sort of fix them, and it just works out great for me. It's inexpensive, I can do it right here at my table, takes less than 5 minutes. Definitely, if you guys have learned anything from this tutorial and you fancy giving it a go, please give this video a thumbs up. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and I do hope you give it a go if you feel confident enough to, because like I said, you are obviously handling a blade and scissors around your eye area. Be very, very careful, but I'm sure you can do it if you have some practice. Not a problem whatsoever. We were all beginners once, right? Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and it was. Please let me know, because that would be fantastic, and I will see you all in my next video, guys. Have a great one. Ciao.